Welcome to Sparks, a Soulfire series dedicated to showcasing leaders who inspire, ignite, and light the way for others. Each month, we highlight someone whose presence, wisdom, and work creates a ripple of impact in their community. Today's episode shines a light on one of those people. Amy is a spark in every sense of the word. She is someone people describe as deeply kind, with a smile that puts others at ease and reminds them that they matter. Through her story, her leadership, and the way she shows up for others, she reflects what's possible when someone chooses authenticity, compassion, and purpose. In this conversation, you'll hear her journey, the moments that shaped her, the lessons she's learned, and the fire that continues to guide her forward. So settle in, take a breath, and let Amy's story remind you of the power of living with intention and the impact that one spark can have. Hey guys, how are you?
Fantastic. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Amy?
Doing great. Thanks for having me.
Yes. So
Of
I
honor.
just want, yes, I want to tell the listener our March spark is Amy Thompson, people. And if you know Amy, I can already hear a round of applause. We have the snaps, it's a whole situation because what a queen.
Yes. And just to back up, what our Sparks episodes are is something really special. It's something that's just, we want to share the stories of the people that are the catalyst for a flame in others and that spark change and make a difference. And Amy, you were nominated by several people in our community, and Alex and I are fortunate to know you and to know that that is absolutely who you are. You are a difference maker, a catalyst for change, and you make everybody around you better. So we are honored and blessed to have you with us today and to talk about some of that with you.
Yes.
I am
So
super
excited.
honored to be included in that. I was very surprised, but very honored and blessed to be with you guys as well.
Yes, we're so excited. And again, I want to reiterate for the listener, a lot of times people get awards or recognition because of their titles, because of the things they do within that title. And that's not what Sparks is about, right? Sparks is about who you are as a person and how you, as Mariah stated, how are you sparking flames in other people and just creating this dynamic feeling for others. And that's what Amy does for all of us.
Yes. So exciting to talk about the difference that you make. And I think oftentimes the sparks aren't talked about as much as the flame that is the result of something that you sparked or something that you put into it on the front side. And so this series is a way for us to recognize, how a lot of that begins and the investment that you make in people and in communities, in your family, and those around you that just makes all of us better. And so it's really exciting that this is our first real episode, I guess, of the Spark series. And I'm excited to talk to you more about those people in your life that you have impacted and also that have impacted you to create these flames around you that have made us all better. Because I know I'm one of them. I'm one of the people on the receiving end of your greatness that has really largely benefited from just the human that you are. So tell us a little bit about you. What events in your life have shaped Amy Thompson into the person that you are?
Yeah, I think it's so important to kind of look back first, right? I'm a daughter, I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a sister, I'm a friend, right? We all wear so many different hats that, to your point, sometimes we get caught up in all those titles and what does that mean? So I grew up in Northern Illinois in a small town out in the middle of the cornfields. High school mascot was a hub, which is like the middle of the wheel, not the whole wagon wheel, just the middle of the wheel. So, small community, tight-knit group. I went to college, not too far from my grandparents, so obviously family is super important to me. And then I got caught up with corporate world after I graduated from college, and I've had a very successful career, navigating a lot of different things within that. Got married, have 3 kids, so dealing with that teenage, preteen, tween stuff, which is a whole new world in today's day and age. Like, I don't know how my parents did it, but golly, I don't know how we're doing it now.
I heard that and know that eyes have a big piece of your story. Um, Tell us why eyes are important to you and vision.
Vision. Well, so much of our learning happens through our eyes, right? Like, it's something like 75% or more of our learning happens through what we see and how we experience the world, and how you can read so many emotions in people's eyes, right? You can read those unspoken things through what their eyes are telling you, not just what their lips are telling you or their body's telling you. I've been in the eye care profession all of my career because I love to help people see. And it's more than just see, right? It's giving them confidence. It's giving them that signature look. Or maybe it's that crazy look for when they're having a night out. And finding that you have many facets of your personality, and there's glasses for every one of those, or sunglasses, right? Or contacts. And being able to give people that confidence and that ability to see the world. I think it goes deeper than that, though. It really is like, once they can see the world, then I think they can see themselves better too, right? They can get a better idea of seeing people's reactions and understanding how they're moving about this great world we live in and with the people they interact with every day. And I just think it means the world to people.
That literally makes me want to cry. So, like, I came into this like, Amy, you might be emotional, and then I'm already crying, and we're not even 5 minutes in. It's fine. Welcome to Spark's journey, family. Like, this
Right.
is our life. Okay, so tell me more about this though, because I want to know how you became so passionate about eyes. Like, was there an experience you had or something that sparked inside of you that said, I want to do that?
Yes and no, right? So when I was about 9 years old, I went through the whole school, look in the box. Oh, no, got sent home. You need to go get an eye exam. Ended up wearing glasses. First pair of glasses I picked out, we go to a family gathering. My great aunt, who was in her 80s, had the same frame I did.
No.
So,
Oh, no.
back then we didn't have too many choices. Right. And so I wore glasses through a lot of my junior high years. Then I moved into contacts again, still just being able to see. And I graduated from college not really knowing what I wanted to do. Right. I had a psychology degree, I had a biology chemistry minor. Thought I was going to go to medical school. I was relieved when I didn't get in, not upset. So very clearly that wasn't the right path for me. And so I was working at a hospital overnight, and I'm not a night person. So I needed to find something different. And they were building a Walmart down the road. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go work there during my day. It'll be during the day until I find my real job. And the person there saw that I had some healthcare background. I jumped in. I found out a lot of it's physics based. I loved physics in school. So I loved understanding how the lenses work. And then it's that art and science combination, right? I'm not the most fashionable person, but I'm able to take what I see you needing and pair it with something that you think looks really awesome, and open up a whole new world and experience for you.
I love hearing how your passion developed. It's beyond just the eyes, right? It's about the people, and it's about transforming how they feel about themselves. It's about helping them to connect with those around them and the world around them so that they can broaden their perspective and so that they can grow and learn. And have experiences. And I think it's really reflective of who you are on a bigger scale. And I think that's what gave me goosebumps when you were talking, is just you are so much for your family, for your friends, for your coworkers, someone who is a support chair in helping people to be their best self, to achieve their dreams, to enhance their learning and their experience. And your gift is also, and your passion is to give that to others. And doing that through optician type work and vision work has given you an avenue, but it's not the only way that you do that, because your personality has taken on those things. If you've ever talked to Amy about her family, this is what she does, for her kids, for her husband. And so tell us a little bit about your family and how you see like the traits that you've talked about coming through with the vision profession in supporting them. Like, how have you leveraged those same strengths, to help make their life better?
I used to joke that I had practiced being a parent because I managed a team first before I had kids, right? And I think it was just that wanting to see them grow, right? Whether it be the team or I want my kids to reach their full potential. I want them to love what they're doing. I want them to be able to take on challenges and know that they're strong enough to succeed. But at the same time, I don't want them to have too difficult of a life. Like, it can't be all roses, but I also want them to have that resilience and be able to look and go, you know what? My mom was a working mom, but she was still there for me. She figured out ways to show up when it mattered most. And I'm fortunate that I'm in a position now and the job that I have today that I have some flexibility in how I do that and what I do. I also think it's just, being your true self and letting them see, you know what, like, this is the way mom is. So take the good with the bad, and just love the people around you and give them what you can and how you can, and um, yeah, show up when you can and give them that spark.
If we were to ask your kids today, pick one, on how they see their mom or how their mom has impacted them positively, what do you think they'd say?
That I'm there, that I get them to their events. I allow them to do the activities and to explore those interests that they might have. And I've tried really hard to let them make their own decisions, right? It's just really hard to do. Like, I did not realize how hard that is. But like letting them pick the activities they want to do and being there and supporting them and cheering them on, even when it gets hard. So I think just being their biggest cheerleader and their soft place to land on those hard days, and being able to say, you know what, you've gotten through 100% of the hard days you faced before. You'll get through this one too. Um, I think that has had a big positive impact on them. At least I hope it has.
There's no doubt.
Okay, so before I tell you what I think I'm hearing, I'm going to ask you a question because I think it's important that you answer the question before I say more things.
Gotcha.
How do you hope people feel after you interact with them? It could be your kids, it could be people you work with, it could be a stranger in the store.
I hope they feel supported, seen, understood, right? That I approach them with compassion and empathy, because we never know what is going on in the background, right? There's a lot of things that may be happening that they just don't want to share, and that's okay. But just showing up with care, concern, kindness every day.
Which is exactly what I heard through all of your stories. And that's the word care. Yes, the word caring kept coming to my mind. Like, she's showing that she cares about the person, and it doesn't matter who that person is. Like, you're going to treat people the same way you're going to treat your kids, right? Like, I'm going to show up as the same Amy, because you also talked about authenticity. And I think that's who you are authentically, is that you care about others. And that comes out through compassion and empathy and support. And so you answered it exactly like I was thinking. But I want to go a step further. So I asked a few people that know you well to tell me about you. Okay. So I got one really amazing response that I want to share with you right now. I got other responses, but I want to share one right now. And it's from Jennifer Summer. Okay. And so she said, "My favorite thing about Amy is her warm and caring nature. Even if she's not having a great day, I know that I'm going to get a genuine smile and a great big hug from her, which instantly makes my day so much better. That consistent presence, that choice to show up with warmth regardless of what she's carrying, is a kind of quiet courage that changes everything." She said a lot more, but I'm going to stop there because we'll all be crying.
We
But
will
it
be.
is like that statement, when I read it, I think I even replied, "Oh, my heart." Like, if you could put Amy's picture in the dictionary with a description, like, that's the description, right? Like,
Oh,
you are that person. And so that for me was like, this is exactly why Amy is our spark for March. So thank you. I just want to say thank you for showing up like that always.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say is hearing that description, and I'd seen it before, but hearing it is exactly who you are. And I think it's interesting and not surprising to hear about your passion in your career, and then how you show up to your friends and to your family. Really consistently, you hear that dependability, you hear that support, you hear that let me give people freedom to make choices and to be their authentic self, and I will support whatever that looks like and help them in whatever way I can. And for me, I am blessed to call you a friend, and you have 100% enhanced my life. You are there for the scary moments and the happy moments and everything in between. And it's a true blessing to know you because you make everyone around you better. And so it's exciting to honor you in this way and to celebrate you in this way as a spark, because you change things, you make people better. And I think oftentimes it's the center stage people that get the accolades and are, you know, front and center, and the stage manager that's behind the curtain in the back, making sure that everybody looks their best and is positioned well and goes out at the right time and things, is underrated. And so I feel like you've been like a stage manager in my life, and I want to put you center stage and be like, look at this lady, like she's amazing, like she is the reason that I am, who I am, and that I shine the way I shine. How many times have I come to you and been like, I have this idea, and you're like, you should do it, like, let me help you. Like, everything that was said about you is so true. It just resonates on every level.
Yeah.
it makes my heart happy to know that I'm showing up the way I think I'm showing up, right? I think sometimes we don't always see our true selves. So it's nice to have a mirror that points back something similar to what I'm hoping I put out there.
I think you're comfortable. I've seen you center stage in life. I've seen you interviewing famous people and doing big center stage things, but you're also really comfortable behind the scenes as stage manager type. You're adaptable and things like that. Where do you feel like you're most comfortable? Do you feel like it's more center stage, or do you feel like the stage manager role, or a combination?
I think it's a combination. A lot of that I attribute to my mom, quite honestly, as a strong encourager when I was in high school to join the speech team. I did not want to do it at all, at all. And she's like, "No, why don't you try it for a year and just see what you think?" Well, a year turned into 4 years and speech captain and all the things, right? So that really taught me the value and taught me how to talk in front of a group, right? And to have that confidence. One of the things I did was impromptu speaking. So you got 8 minutes. You walked in having no idea what your topic was. They handed you a slip of paper and you had to write and deliver your speech before that 8 minutes was up. That really taught me how to be calm under pressure, and to think on my feet, right? And that has served me really well throughout my career. Um, but on the flip side, I also supported the theater in my older years in high school and was more comfortable doing the behind the scenes and coordinating and making sure we had everything and everything was in its place. So I think I got a good balance of those two. I'm not afraid to be center stage, but I feel very fulfilled knowing that I helped make the big thing happen.
Yeah, that's amazing. I know. All the love. That actually segued right into what I was going to ask you.
There you go.
Okay, Jesus. Um, so I was just going to ask, like, what experiences do you think have shaped how you lead and support other people? And that was two of them, clearly.
Right?
Do you have other experiences?
Lots. I think just having been through so many different things in life, in my career, right? And really paying attention to how I felt with different people around me and how they made me feel, right? Like you can learn just as much from those you'd rather not encounter again as those you do wish to encounter again. I was displaced about 15, 16 years ago as my role was eliminated. And I had some decisions to make. And so I ended up taking kind of a side downward step on the lattice of career paths, right? And then I ended up taking a full step back. I was 6 months into that new role. It was super stressful, not a good fit for me. And I had the opportunity to go back to something I had been doing previously. And when I did that, I'm like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to be the best person I can be. And at my evaluation that year, my supervisor said, I really have to commend you. I know that you were doing a job like mine not too long ago, but you have shown up every day. You have given your best. You've had a great attitude and you have not dragged this team down where a lot of people would have. And I think that really showed me the value in showing up. Even on your bad days doesn't mean you have to be in this happy-go-lucky mood all the time, but it does mean that you need to look at the bright side and what the possibility is, not necessarily always focusing on the doomsday, what could have.
Yes. Positive power is like a real thing, right? Like it doesn't have to be fluffy or fake either, but like that just speaks to your character too though, Amy. I think it talks about like you again, I'm hearing showing up. That's something you said about your kids. Like I want them to know that I'm there for the important things. And that's playing in your job too, right? Like even if
Mhm.
it's hard, even if it's not really where you want to be or it's challenging, like you're still showing up and you're still putting a smile on your face, just like Jennifer said, and you still care about the people.
The one thing that I heard was courage, and I know everyone's surprised because that's like my favorite value. But the courage to do the hard thing, that maybe society may look at you and say, "Oh, she took a step back," or that we're conditioned to think that success looks a certain way, and to break that mold because it's what's best for you. I think that also is a type of legacy that I want my kids to follow, to say, listen to your body, listen to yourself, listen to what your needs are in the moment. And who cares what anyone says if it's what's right for you? And to know that you took that step, you did those things, even though it was hard, demonstrates a lot of courage and is a really great example. And then to be able to share that as this is a moment that defined me. I mean, it was not for nothing. It meant something, you know, like taking that step lateral or down or whichever way, it was defining and it meant something. So courage to me is underrated because it's so much easier to do the easy thing instead of the hard thing. And following that intuition and that gut is something that I really value in people, and probably another one of the million reasons that I consider you a friend and just really respect you.
It's listening to that still small voice in the back of my head that led me back to you, right? I told you, Mariah, when we reconnected, we had been in a mentor circle, 10 years ago or more, and then kind of went our separate ways. And I saw you post about Soulfire this summer, and I heard God's voice, the universe, whatever, in the back of my head saying, you can't afford not to reach out. You have to do this. You have to reach out. And it has been life-changing. It really has. And it's that trusting your gut when you know, right? Like, don't believe every thought you have, but when you know, and you just need to trust it and go in.
Yes, 100%. And then the way that that's evolved, I think, is a true testament to who you are. I think about times in my own life as a new business owner, as a new entrepreneur, and with all the feelings of being scared or overwhelmed or freaking out, or wanting to celebrate and all the things. And I remember there's so often times that I meet with you and I'm just, and you are whatever I need in the moment. And I know that's how you show up for your kids and the people at work. And it's just part of who you are. You adapt to the needs, not only the needs around you, but also yourself. And it just brings this spark that, ignites everything. It's magic. It's pure magic. And I'm just I'm going to cry myself just on the impact that you've had on me, and knowing that I wouldn't be where I am without you and your influence and your advice and your calm to my storm and my crazy. A story about Amy is we had an event where we were doing vision boards, and it was really more goal setting and alignment and helping people find where they wanted to be in the future. And anyone that knows me knows that I have a gift of getting people to come together. And my gift is not really in the details, and not at all in the details. And when it comes to putting like a party or an event together, etc., I'm really good at getting the people there and getting people excited and making sure they have a good time, but making sure they have the food and the drinks and all the things. Again, not my strength. And Amy comes in and she's got this bag of tricks, she's got the scissors, she's got the glue, she's got all the things and they're color coded and organized and beautiful. And it just, even our first event, everything that we've done with Soulfire, that's just been hat you wear, a role you play. And I know it's who you are for your kids. I know it's who you are for your team at work. I know it's who you are in your community. You just show up like Mary Poppins,
It's so true. Yes. It's here's my giant bag of gifts.
Yes.
That is too funny because my nickname in high school was Mom, because I carried the purse that had the sewing kit for the skirt that needed something, or the whatever, nail file, the hairbrush. So I guess I haven't changed as much as I thought.
Like the Girl Scout, you've thought of everything, you're thinking ahead, and it's such a gift. It's such a gift. And when you think about building out a team, or you think about building out your friend group, or you're thinking about the people you put around you, it's really great when you can combine people that have those different strengths and bring them together so that even more magic happens, or even more fun happens, and things are just more complete. And I know for me, you are, the yin to my yang in a lot of my crazy. And it's nice. I'm sure it's reassuring for Alex too, because Alex lives in Kansas, and when we're doing things in Northwest Arkansas, she's like, "Oh, Amy's got it." Like, "Oh, Amy's there." Like she can be the string to Mariah's crazy balloon. It's just a blessing.
Yes, it is.
I think of you as a hot air balloon, Mariah, and we just have several strings, just making sure that we get where we need to
Lots
be.
of hot air, lots and lots of hot air that would just
And I've
float
been on
away.
a hot air balloon, and they are amazing. So if
Yeah,
you haven't done it, you have.
I want to. I'll put it
Okay.
on my bucket list.
Yes. Tip from Amy. Love it.
Yes.
Well, Amy, I want to talk about something a little bit honest because I love that you're a spark and all the things, and you are really amazing. And that's really what we're here to celebrate. But I think sometimes it might be overwhelming when people are leaning on you and you are caring for so many people and you're supporting so many people. So I kind of have a two-part question. The first is, how do you take care of yourself? And the second is, do you have sparks in your own life that lift you up and help support you in those seasons?
So we'll tackle the first one. I'm learning better how to take care of myself. Some days and weeks I'm great, and some days and weeks I'm not. Ask my husband. But he is super supportive and will be the first one to say, you know what, I think you need to take a break. So the big things, right? Taking care of myself in regards to getting enough sleep, right? If I don't have enough sleep, all bets are off. Hydration,
Same.
right? Like I have
Yes.
always been a water girl, and I had a friend who used to tell me, go drink 2 bottles of water and call me back in 15 minutes and we'll see how things feel. Okay, got it. And then I recently heard, I don't even remember who I was listening to, about when you're stressed, you tend to be like, oh, I can't do that thing I really enjoy because I have too many other things going on, or I shouldn't do this because I have all these other things happening in my life and I'm so stressed and I'm out of time. And that's exactly what you should be doing. So leaning into something you enjoy in those really hectic times to help keep you grounded. And I love to read fiction, nonfiction, whatever. So I have been much better about carving out even just a couple of minutes a day to read a little bit. That just gives me a little bit of grounding and keeps me a little more on track. We'll see.
Great. Thank you for sharing that because I think sometimes we forget, And I mean, at Soulfire, we love helping others. Like that's why we're here, right? But then you have to sometimes take a step back and say, "Oh, I have to take care of myself too, or I'm not going to be able to help others."
Right. Well, and I think as moms too, so many of us just put everybody else's needs. Oh, my kids need this, and my husband needs that, and work needs this, and next thing you know, there's no time left for you. And so it's been a lesson to learn for sure. But kind of hearing that gave me permission. It's almost like I needed permission to be like, you know what, you can do something you enjoy, even if it's a super busy time, and that's okay.
Yes.
I heard recently that we need to put our own oxygen mask on first, and that's something that this year I'm trying to be really intentional about. And I think one thing that you do is you model really well what balance looks like, and also that it's okay to do self-care and to take care of, what we need to take care of for us instead of just everybody around us, because our flame can go out or diminish if we don't do that. So you've been a role model for a lot of people in making sure that you're taking care of those things. I want, after you answer Alex this question, I know one of your big passions is reading and podcasts, and I'd love for you to share some of those with us too, that are your favorite. But I want to hear about people that you love too and that are sparks for you.
Yeah. Who lifts you up, Amy?
Well, my husband, Matt, I can't do what I do without him, right? He is the rock. He holds the fort down, and without him supporting me and encouraging me to step out, right? I tend to be one who likes their comfort zone, and I want to know how to do it 100% all the way perfectly before I even try. I know Alex, I have a kindred spirit there.
Yes, yes.
And he has taught me that, you know what, sometimes you step out in faith and you learn as you go. And he's given me the grace to go out and try new things, which I love. My parents obviously have had a big influence on my life and continue to help support. And then at work, Kelly Drabus has been incredible. Like, she is the person who, when she can look at me and be like, what's wrong? And know through whatever smile I may be plastering on my face, and be able to connect with me in a way that a lot of other people aren't, and really just kind of lift me up. And then Jen Summer, as you mentioned, she's the reason I am where I am today, because I interviewed with her. I did not get the role, but she called me up, and I will never forget the conversation. And she said, now that I know you, I'm invested in you, and I have an interest in what you're doing with the rest of your career. And it was about 2 years later, she's the one who forwarded me the job that brought me to Northwest Arkansas. And that was, goodness, 11 years ago almost. Yeah, I mean, there's so many more.
Yeah.
But those are the ones that really day in and day out are there.
That's so amazing. Thank you for sharing that, because I also think it's important. Not only do we have self-care, right? We recognize the people that keep our spark lit so that we can keep others' sparks lit.
And that connection, right? Like, I tend to get stressed and just want to turn inward. And having those people be like, I'm just checking in, or how are things going, really just kind of reminds me that, you know what, when I share my burden with others, it's lighter. And that is obviously a good thing. And then my faith, right, is just foundational. It's just part of who I am. I wouldn't be going anywhere.
That's right. We talk a lot about community on the podcast because, I mean, that's kind of what Soulfire was founded on too, is the collective, right? Like, the Soulfire is not one person or two people or five people. It's a collective of people that we would not be doing anything without this community, right? Like, community is so important, whether that's your church or your neighbors or your friends or your work peers or whoever it is. And we all have different, or your window. Yeah, that's
The
for
mom
another
group
day.
down the street.
Yes.
Car line
All the
pickup.
communities. Yes. And those are the people that give us oxygen too, you know? They fill our buckets when we need them filled.
And fire needs oxygen, right? When you said oxygen, it just made me think of my great uncle with his little bellows trying to make his charcoal grill light
Yeah.
up, right?
Yes.
Because it needs oxygen, right? And that analogy just really rings true.
It does.
Yes.
Before we get close to the end, I really want to know about podcasts and books and things that have inspired you, that light you up, that, have guided your path, so to speak. Because one of the things I look forward to is hearing your stories about books and things like that.
Oh, goodness. Man, I'll have to narrow it down. How long do we have?
Take all the time you want.
One that I recommend to a lot of people is The Lazy Genius Way, written by a woman who's coined herself the Lazy Genius, Kendra Adachi. And her take is, be genius about the things that matter and lazy about the rest. And reading her book, she's got all these different principles, and like every one of them, just like, do something now that yourself in the future will thank you later, right? Ask the magic question. What can I do now that'll make my life easier? Even if it seems silly, even if it's putting a pot of water on the stove at noon for dinner, because you know that's going to be hard to do. And she's written a book about the kitchen, and she's written a book about time management, but she just has this big sister energy. And she was one of the first times I realized that it's okay to change your mind. It's okay to say, you know what, this was working for me in this season. That's not working now. And I can change my mind or change my opinion as I get more information. And that's okay. That doesn't mean I was wrong before. It just means that now I know different, or now life is different. or whatever. So she is one of my top favorites for sure. I got to her through somebody called Emily P. Freeman. She helps with decision fatigue and making decisions in life. Mariah, I think when you sent me the first list of podcasts and books, she was on there, and I had been a long time listener. One of the first books I read of hers was Grace for the Good Girl, and she talked about the mom bag and in high school. So like, I found my people right there. And I
Yes.
emailed her, and she emailed me back, which was even
Yay.
more amazing.
Right.
So she has some great stuff. I love to listen to her podcast. And then I'll just give you two more because I know we're on
Do
time.
it.
Mel Robbins recently with her Let Them book.
Yes.
But her podcast, every time, I wish I had more time to listen to them. She always has something that is applicable and ready to go and something that you can implement in your life. And then the final one is a book called Burnout, Stopping the Stress Cycle. I listened to it on audiobook. I found a copy of it at the thrift store. I've bought the workbook. I regularly go back and go remind myself what I need to do. But it really talks a lot about if you're in burnout, how to get out of it and how to prevent it. It's great for anyone, but especially for women. It's written by some sisters who, if you get the audiobook, are hilarious to listen to because they read it themselves. So highly recommend.
Love that.
That's so great.
I'm always inspired by the things that you're listening to or reading. It's always been an encouragement. One of the books that I've read recently, I think, was a recommendation of yours, and that was the Awake book by Jen Hatmaker. And that book did a lot of things for me, specifically.
It was amazing.
Right. It's so good. Yeah. And so there's several times that you'll send a podcast or a book recommendation that for me just is exactly what I needed that day, or kind of like the bumpers in my life that I bounce off. Gives me the encouragement I need and points me back in the right direction. So that's awesome. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Yes. That's so great. Okay, two more questions. What does spark mean to you?
When I hear spark, I think of the old campfire song, It Only Takes a Spark to Get the Fire Going, right? For those of you who went to church camp back in the 80s, 90s, right? Like, big song. And just how true that is, right? Like, it does not have to be big. It can be the tiniest little thing that, if nurtured and cared for and with some life breathed into it, can become a fire. And I just think that that's so incredible that something so little could become something so big. And the possibility, right, is within all of that.
Yes, which leads into my next question. If somebody doesn't really see their own spark yet, like, what advice could you give them? What would you tell them?
It's there. I promise. It really, really is. Learn to listen to your gut and to that voice that you hear when it's quiet. And sometimes it's stepping away, right? Like, I have a house with 3 kids, 2 dogs. My husband works from home. There are times where I'm like, I'm going out on the back deck and do not come out here because I need 5 minutes of no YouTube, no TV, no nothing. And that's when I really can listen to God, to myself, and understand. And I think too, the other thing is, if you don't know, like, ask your friends, ask your coworkers. What's one thing that I'm really good at? Or what's one word you would use to describe me? And it really kind of gives you some interesting insight as to where some of your passions might be, because you don't even realize that's how you're showing.
My heart is so full.
I know.
Like, my flame was just fanned. Thank you.
Good.
Yes.
Good.
Yes. Love it.
So just amazing. So Amy, like, kudos to you, because Queen, you're here for a reason, okay? Like, I want you to know that. Like, you are a spark. And honestly, sometimes I think, like, sparks it's great, but I'm like, but you're more than that, right? Like, you have sparks
You're
in
the
people.
freaking flame.
You
The
are.
flame.
No, wait, but, like, she's, like, the fan and, like, the stuff you put on it to make it
And
bigger
the
and, like
oxygen and, like, the spark and the embers and the catalyst, like, all of
Yes.
it. And
Yes.
it just, like, that just speaks to your versatility and your adaptability and the way you show up for all of us. And I think this episode just goes to show, like, you are all the things. You are her, as my children would say.
You are her.
Period. Like, you are
Period.
her.
Oh,
Thank
we're so
you.
thankful.
It's the people around me that make me.
And that is why you're a spark, because compassion, showing up.
Yes. Love.
And, like, the humble, like, nature that Amy is amazing.
Humble
So, humble Amy, we love you.
Yes.
I just want to say
Oh.
thank you for being a spark in our collective and our personal lives, and for showing up the way you do every single day, no matter what, because y'all know I'm a hot mess express some days, and I'm, like, stressed out and, like, all the anxiety, and I'm like, Amy, ah! And Amy's like, it's fine. Like, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And I'm like, oh, thank you, Jesus.
Yeah.
Like, thank you, Amy.
Organize all the things and the chaos,
Yeah.
etc.
Yes. So thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for welcoming me into the collective and letting me jump in, right? Like, I was an outsider looking in, and I'm like, that looks fun. I want to help. I want to do that. And you guys could have said, nah, we're good. But
Now look
I
at us
have
now.
been so blessed, and have lifelong friends
Yes.
That's right.
Stuck with us.
Yes.
forever.
Yes.
Forever. Yay. Well, friends, if you want to know more about Amy, we will be giving little tidbits of her information and story throughout the month of March. And so watch on social media. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, The Soulfire Collective, and then Instagram is The Soulfire Co. We'll also have some information about her in our newsletter, which you can sign up for on thesoulfire.com under Fuel the Fire Within. And we are just so grateful, Amy. Thank you so much.
So grateful.
Thank you.
Sometimes the most powerful sparks don't arrive loudly. They live in quiet kindness, in presence, and in the courage of simply being themselves. So let this be a reminder to you. Your presence matters. Your light matters. And the way you show up has the power to impact more people than you will ever know. If Amy's story spoke to you, we'd love for you to stay connected. You can learn more at thesoulfire.com. Thank you so much for being here, and until next time, keep shining and keep stepping into the fire.